guaranteed. Somebody made a call. Hey, I think a Bay Zoo here, bruh. Hey, Bay Zoo here.
Brand new visuals just popped up online and the streets can't stop buzzing. The clip allegedly shows a few of Lil Durk's own homies vibing with the same cats connected to THF Zoo's murder, and it's got the entire city tripping out. From O Block to BBS, everyone's arguing heavy about what's real, what's edited, and who really went against the code. So here's the full breakdown. Who really set Zoo up? October 25th, 2025. A Saturday around 3 p.m. seemed like a chill day in the Kai. Dudes just hanging out, catching plays, keeping out of the mix. But for Da Vinci THF Bayou Collier, a 35-year-old drill rapper who'd been down with Lil Durk's Only the Family from the very beginning, this regular Saturday was about to flip into his final day alive. Real ones know Zoo wasn't the reckless type. He pulled into a pick-and-pull junkyard out in Little Village, South Lawndale side, near the 3100 block of South St. Louis Avenue, just trying to grab a few parts for his ride. No live stream, no flex, no slick talk, just a man minding his own. But that's what's cold about this life. The block don't care if you're doing normal things. When whoops want you gone, they'll catch you anywhere. The corner store, the car wash, or like in this case, the junkyard. What happened next was pure assassination vibes. No lie. A mystery whip pulled through the lot with military-level precision. The type that screams this was no spur-of-the-moment move. Nah, this was mapped out, timed down to the second. Somebody out there knew exactly where Big Bro was and when he'd touched down. Bayou wasn't solo either. Two of his partners were with him, one aged 39, the other 42. When them shooters let the steel loose, brew, it turned that lot into a full-on battlefield. They dumped over 100 rounds. Yeah, 100. Not 10, not 20. A whole storm of bullets flying wild like a video game gone real. Crime scene investigators later counted 20 rifle casings and 19 9mm shells spread all over the ground. Every shell told the same story. They wanted Zoo erased bad. 5 other cars in that lot caught stray hits. Glass blown out, frames bent, metal ripped apart. You could tell from the wreckage, them hitters pulled up with one goal: make sure Zoo ain't walking out alive. Zoo was the primary mark. No debating that. He took multiple shots to his chest and stomach, bullets ripping through organs and arteries with brutal force, the kind that even top surgeons can't fix. His 2 boys got clipped too, but they survived it. The 42-year-old caught rounds in the back, arm, and leg, while the 39-year-old's wounds had him listed in fair shape. All 3 got rushed out to Mount Sinai Hospital, but the second those medics pulled up, everybody could see Zoo's situation was tragic. Like, beyond saving. Before long, the footage of that ambush started spreading all over social platforms, X, YouTube, everywhere. Those clips, raw and unfiltered, showed the exact second the shooter's car rolled up and unleashed the heat. You can see bodies hitting the ground, people diving behind cars, chaos breaking loose in seconds. Major news outlets like ABC7 and Times Now wouldn't post it cause the content was too graphic, but that didn't stop it from blowing up. Thousands of shares, RIP posts, and warnings flooding every feed across the web.
3 men hospitalized after South Lawndale shooting, police say. 3 men were shot around 3 p.m. Saturday in a parking lot in the 3100 block of South St. Louis in South Lawndale after someone in an unknown vehicle opened fire. The victims, a 35-year-old man in critical condition and 2 others, ages 39 and 42, in fair condition, were all taken to Mount Sinai Hospital.
When Zoo made it through the doors of Mount Sinai's emergency room, his condition was beyond serious, critical, don't even cover it. Word spreading from folks close to the camp, talking with hip-hop outlets, said Bayou had basically lost his pulse either right there at the scene or minutes after. His heart stopped cold. His whole system started shutting down like a switch flipped off, but those paramedics, trained to wrestle with death even when the odds say otherwise, fought hard to keep him alive. They brought him back inside that ambulance, shocking his chest, forcing his heartbeat to return. Big Bro got snatched back from the edge, but just for a moment. It wasn't a recovery, it was a brief pause before fate took over again. A short, cruel delay before the inevitable end.
So the ambulance that came, right, he was already basically dead. Like, he had been dead for a minute. I don't want to say he died immediately, but Zoo had already been dead by the time that the ambulance came. When they revived him and they resuscitated him, he actually came back.
Inside the hospital, the staff went into full survival mode. Doctors and nurses scrambling, shouting orders, trying every procedure in the book. They started blood transfusions, pumping new life into Zoo's body to replace what he'd lost from the hail of bullets. But that's when everything got even darker. His system started rejecting the blood. His body, already shattered and in shock from the internal damage, couldn't handle what they were giving him. The round had torn through too much muscle, ruptured too many arteries, wrecked too much of what kept him alive. Even with modern equipment, there was no fixing the destruction inside him. Zoo's body was fading fast, slipping away minute by minute, and nobody in that room could change it. Outside, around 30 people crowded the entrance once the news hit. Family, block members, and THF soldiers pulling up, desperate to get inside before time ran out. The scene outside was heavy. People crying, praying, pacing. His baby mama arrived, then Tiffany, his main lady, an older woman who'd held him down through it all. Witnesses said it got tense between them. Too much heartbreak, too much pain. Emotion spilling over while Bayu was still fighting to stay alive just a few feet away. That's the raw truth of it. Chaos, confusion, and love clashing all at once under the weight of tragedy.
But anyways, so there's 30 people that come. Like, you know, his homies come through, his baby mama come through, his girl is there. If y'all don't know, you know, shout out Tiffany, you know. But, you know, Zoo got an older woman. Zoo has an older...
By the time evening came, doctors had to break the words nobody wanted to hear. Zoo was brain dead. His brain had gone too long without oxygen. Even if machines kept his heart beating, the man himself, THF Bayu, the rapper, the father, the solid one, was already gone. What remained was just a body running on hospital wires, a heartbeat created by technology, a painful illusion of life that only stretched the heartbreak for his people. His mom, and no mother should ever face that choice, couldn't bring herself to decide at first. How could she tell them to stop the machines keeping her son alive? To her, that man in the bed wasn't a street legend or a rapper from the trenches. He was still her child, the same boy she raised before the fame and the violence. The doctors spoke softly, explaining that her son wasn't coming back, that what they saw was just reflex, not recovery. One by one, family and close friends stepped into that room, whispering final goodbyes to someone who could no longer hear them, holding his hand while the monitors still blinked like there was hope. Then, in the quiet early hours of October 26, 2025, after hours of grief and impossible decisions, Zoo's loved ones finally agreed to end life support, setting his soul free after a long, heartbreaking fight.
The family is still struggling with actually pulling the plug. So they pulled the plug early this morning on him, and he is no longer with us.
Once the machines went silent, the steady beeps faded, and the artificial breath stopped echoing through that room, it was over. DaVinci THF Bayu Collier, 35 years old, father of 7, rapper, solid one, and survivor of some of Chicago's hardest blocks, was officially pronounced gone. People close to the circle told blogs that Zoo passed around 7 p.m. on October 25, 2025, another dark loss for the city. Word spread online at lightning speed, the way it always does when tragedy hits in the digital era. Confusion flooded timelines. The account Chicago Hits on X posted an early update around 4 p.m., then deleted it minutes later, waiting on confirmation. Some pages claimed he was stable, others swore he was fighting for his life. For a brief stretch, hope and heartbreak clashed online, that familiar uncertainty that always hits first. But by nightfall, the truth settled in for good. Duty Low, one of Zoo's closest partners from the F camp, broke his silence with a single Instagram post, a dove emoji and a photo of Bayu. No caption, no words, just pain written between the lines. Within moments, comments poured in by the thousands. That image became a modern memorial, a space where the streets mourn together through screens instead of street corners.
Yo, it's your boy King Yella, man. Bayu was shot 2 times in the chest, man. Yesterday, man. We had people posting like he passed away yesterday. Had people posting like he was in stable condition, people like he was in critical. But now today I wake up and see everybody saying rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace, man. And I know this done broke a lot of y'all hearts.
Soon after, other OTF and THF members began posting, turning the timeline into a raw stream of grief. Audio clips, shaky videos, and written tributes all carried that numb heaviness that comes when another soldier falls. THF Rome uploaded a voice note talking about how used to death they'd all become, saying it out loud like confession and exhaustion mixed in one. "We lost a big face out THF," he said, his tone empty. Then came the twist that cut even deeper. Lil Durk, locked up in a federal cell fighting RICO charges, got the news behind bars. Couldn't be there, couldn't hug Zoo's people, couldn't even pour a drink in his honor. Just stuck in confinement, hearing that another brother from the trenches was gone. Unverified posts from folks who claimed inside knowledge said Durk broke down over a jail phone call when he heard it. Nobody can prove it, but anyone who knows their history knows it sounds real. Durk and Zoo came up side by side, built something from nothing, and even fame and millions couldn't shield them from the same streets that birthed them. The internet turned into a memorial wall, fans posting non-stop. Subreddits like Chiricology and UK drill threads became digital wakes, full of people typing out pain. Durk losing his mind in that cell. Zoo was his day one commenter wrote. Real stepper, solid soul, RIP Zoo, another said, honoring the man's name in a scene full of pretenders and cloud chasers.
Fortunately, you know, I feel away too. Me and bro, 35 years old, and you know, even he from the other side, but me and Zoo done chopped it up a couple times, man, on some grown man. So, I could say that he sat there, done called me yellow, man, ooh, grown. You know what I'm saying? We done had them conversations, man, like,
I ain't arguing with no trolls. I am a troll. This is what I do. I get on this tweet with y'all all day.
That 4-minute clip hits on a whole different level now that we know what came after. You can see it in his eyes. This was a man who understood how the streets operate better than most. He knew that every move sets off a chain reaction waiting to swing back eventually. He understood that in Chicago street chess, debts don't disappear. They get settled in blood no matter how long it takes. Zoo wasn't clueless about being a marked man. He was fully aware the crosshairs were on him. He just refused to fold, choosing to live loud instead of hiding out. That decision, in the end, cost him everything. CPD officially ruled the shooting a targeted, gang-related execution. And by October 27, 2025, 2 days after the ambush, no one had been taken into custody. The case remains open under the Gang Intelligence Division, but let's keep it real. Catching shooters in Chicago is almost impossible. Witnesses rarely talk, surveillance footage always malfunctions, and the no-snitching creed keeps even eyewitnesses quiet. But silence don't stop the whisper network, because the streets still talk even when mouths stay shut. And those whispers had plenty to say about who might have pulled the trigger and why.
I asked what the hell he was doing there, and this is, this gang's, this is the SA part of town and all this stuff and everything and blah, blah, blah. And I get all that, but also over there he was getting a part for his car.
The loudest rumor making waves right after the murder pointed fingers at a black disciple crew known as Bashville Crazy, based near 71st and Wabash. Sources who claim to have inside info, posting on X, Reddit, and street blogs, allege this was retaliation for the February 2024 killing of a BD named Man. He, in turn, was believed to have been taken out for the earlier murder of THF, one of Zoo's closest allies. If these reports got any truth to them, it paints a picture of an endless revenge circuit stretching over years. Each life lost triggering another, one body leading to the next. THF's death in February 2024 sparked Man's murder soon after, and 8 months later the cycle spun again, this time claiming Bayu Zhu himself, one of THF's most known figures. Executed in broad daylight, his death became another link in an unbroken chain of vengeance that never stops repeating.
Guaranteed, somebody made a call. Hey, I think Bayu here, bro. Hey, Bayu here, bro. What? Yeah, Bayu here. Hey, for real? Hell yeah. Oh, say less, we finna pull up. You know what I mean? That right there is textbook. Somebody dropped low.
Another theory that gained real traction online centered on the idea that someone inside dropped Zoo's location, handed his coordinates straight to the whoops. The precision of the ambush made it clear this wasn't luck. The shooters weren't randomly passing by. They knew the time, the place, and came loaded heavy enough to make sure there'd be no survivors. You don't spray over 100 rounds by accident. That's not panic fire. That's organization, intel, and planning. Somebody had to feed them that info. Making matters even deeper, some claim the roots of this tension trace all the way back to 2023, when a stash of luxury watches went missing from rapper Lil Durk, affiliated with the SDL-EBT side. Word is, certain THF members were involved in what people labeled a backdoor move, basically a betrayal masked as business. That single act supposedly reignited dormant beef between both camps. After Zoo's murder, Osama's younger brother reportedly posted mocking memes about the killing, fanning the flames and hinting that the cycle of revenge is far from over. And that right there sums up Chicago's street reality in 2025. A city where peace feels impossible, loyalty gets tested daily, and every action writes the next chapter in a never-ending loop of payback. A maze of betrayals, shifting loyalties, inside plays, and revenge hits, that's the reality now. The original reason for the beef gets buried under so many bodies that it stops even mattering. You drop one of ours, we drop one of yours. You slide, we spin back, and the wheel keeps turning until whole generations of young men disappear. The Black Disciples, one of Chicago's biggest, most deeply rooted organizations, broke away from the Black Gangster Disciples after David Boxdale's death in 1974. Ever since, their ongoing war with OTF and THF's Black P. Stone Connections has written decades of blood into the city's history. Federal Justice Department reports show BD-linked factions have been tied to over 100 homicides since 2020 alone. Zoo's death falls right into that same grim pattern. Turf warfare, revenge missions, endless retaliation. The same ingredients that make Chicago one of the most dangerous places in America for young black men. One user on the Chiricology subreddit said it best, "Real talk, they wanted Zoo gone. Once you hit 30, the idea of outgrowing the streets don't exist anymore." And that comment sums up a hard truth about the modern era. You can't simply age out of danger. At 35, Zoo should have been past the point of high-risk years. Most who survive that long either move out, catch time, or broker quiet truces with their enemies. But Zoo stayed visible, stayed loyal, stayed in the same city that built him, and by doing that, he stayed a target.
But unfortunately, man, being in them streets and being in Chicago, man, when you come from that and you in the wrong places, it can happen. Like I always tell people, it can happen to you no matter what, 10 years later, 20 years later. When you in them places, man, it could just happen.
Now that we've pieced together how Zoo lost his life in that parking lot, it's time to rewind and look at what molded him into the man known across the South Side as THF Bayou. Because this wasn't just another drill artist chasing attention, this was someone born and bred in it, a street figure whose story was inseparable from Chicago's DNA. Born around 1990, though no verified birth date appears in public records, Da Vinci Bayou Collier came up in Englewood, right off 63rd and Normal. And if you don't know Englewood, here's the truth. It's not just a neighborhood, it's ground zero for generational neglect. A place where poverty isn't a statistic but a lived, daily struggle. Where lights get cut off, meals get skipped, and opportunity feels like a rumor. Schools stay underfunded, cops patrol heavy but protect little, and institutions that are supposed to build futures end up breaking spirits. In that void, gangs become the only system offering structure, safety, and identity. That's the world young Da Vinci stepped into. He didn't choose the streets because he wanted chaos. He was born into a reality where the streets were the only thing functioning. Early on, he became part of the Tay-Town Hustlers family, better known as THF. THF was a branch tied to the Black P. Stones, with connections to the 051 Young Money Circle, operating in zones where colors, signs, and even the wrong street corner could decide your fate. Little is publicly known about Bayou's immediate family, his parents, siblings, or how he was raised, beyond the struggle that defines Southside existence. But in rare moments when Zoo spoke on his upbringing, he described what he called living in the trenches. That street talk for surviving in a world that feels like a war zone, grinding for money by any means, dodging both cops and enemies, and trying to stay alive in an environment where legal paths out are almost non-existent. He wasn't some suburban kid chasing thrill, he was a product of survival instinct. Gang life wasn't rebellion, it was structure. Through those early years, he faced loss after loss, home is gone before 20, trauma that hardened him until emotion became a luxury. By the time he sat for his 2023 No Jumper interview, one of the few long talks he ever gave, Zoo opened up with startling honesty about the mental toll of drill life. He spoke on becoming numb to death, the emotional armor required to keep functioning when your closest friends keep turning into murals, and how every loss carved a deeper hole inside him that no fame or money could fill.
Your boy Big Zoo, man, THF Zoo. Instagram, Big Ball Zoo _46, man, OTF.
It's your boy Big Duty Low, man. Bald head Richmond.
It's your boy Disky, aka The Threat, man. We just jumped off the porch.
With Dirty Glove Blaster.
Man, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
That mindset, that emotional armor young men in environments like his build just to survive, molds Zoo into what the streets call a real stepper. A stepper ain't just somebody rapping about drills or flashing a pole for views. It's a person who's genuinely about action, who puts loyalty, respect, and that day one bond above everything else, including fame. Somebody who follows a moral code that outsiders might call twisted, but in a place where the system don't protect you, those codes become survival. Even surrounded by constant chaos, Zoo often said music was his therapy, the one outlet that let him unload grief, define himself, and create something beyond the violence swallowing his world. He started rapping as a teenager, not chasing charts or awards, but just trying to bleed out emotion in a form that made sense. But before rap could give him any real way forward, the law came crashing down in a way that would shape his entire 20s and leave scars he'd carry forever. In July 2009, at only 19, Zoo was accused of shooting and killing 21-year-old Dominic Barnes over the 4th of July weekend near 47th and Forestville. Another fatal chapter in Chicago's long list of territorial beefs and neighborhood vendettas. The case exposed just how chaotic the city's justice system could be. Zoo wasn't arrested right away. For 5 long years, from 2009 through 2014, he lived under suspicion, until police finally moved in. When they did, they made it loud, a full raid at Lil Durk's crib, where Zoo happened to be staying. The arrest not only tied his name to one of drill's biggest rising stars, but also yanked him out of the city streets right as his music was starting to take shape.
Like, bro, the case that I was fighting my murder on happened 4th of July 2008 or 9. Don't quote me because I don't remember, like, I done been through so much afterwards. I didn't get arrested for a murder charge in 2014, so you do the math.
5 years, but he told on you at a later date.
Somebody lied on me at a later date.
Right. And what, like, so why was that enough though to get you actually like held for
It wasn't,
4 years?
Bro, like, it's just that bad. They want to off the street. Like, it was hearsay from the jump anyway. You feel me? No eyewitness got on stand, but it's 5 people got on stand on me in trial. 5 people, and I still came on, inshallah. You know what I'm saying?